Yo, what's up? You're off in God's country with your boy, Reid, and your other boy,
Dan.
Also known as the Brothers Hunt, where we take a weekly drive to the intersection of country music and the great... You look like an airplane.
I was doing an intersection.
Intersection of country music and the great outdoors. Two things that go together, like leaving your favorite pillow at a hotel and never sleeping good ever again. That's what I'm doing these days. That's what I'm doing these days.
Or Dolly Parton and Blonde Wigs, brought to you by MeatEater.
And still going, dude.
Not sure what
Still going.
we're doing here.
1, 2, 3. Tacoma, sponsoring the show now, baby. Tacoma,
Get it up.
sponsoring the show now, baby.
What's the first line?
They look good with anything, even when you don't have pants.
Make you wanna get up, two-step, do a little dance, cause Tacoma's sponsoring the show now, baby.
Yeah.
That's the shortest we can make it, okay? Goofing over there.
New boot. Not new. 2-time first repeat guest on the show. We just kind of riff.
Ain't scared.
Ain't scared of riffing on here.
Ain't scared, no haired. Laird.
Laird. Ain't scared, no haired.
Luke Laird.
Luke Laird. One of our favorite guys in this town. We love him. Great stories. Great dude. We just kind of talk. The first part of the podcast about everything, and then we get into some music stuff. And
It was nice to have a repeat on too, man. Just kind of, we're familiar with him. He's such a good guy and has a great perspective on songwriting and breaking into the business and
a life,
how to be efficient in the business, and also just wraps it up with a nice little life bow.
That's right. You're really going to enjoy it. Do a different thing for the gravorite. Actually, a song that we three wrote together, so you're going to want to stick around for that.
If you're a prospective artist, you definitely want to skip straight to that, listen to it, and cut it on your record.
If you're looking for a single, it's the perfect opportunity for a single song.
What else is that? Do we do anything else on here? No good roast. We looked at them. You guys are trash.
You guys are not trash. They're our listeners. You guys are awesome. Trash. I've been watching Forky. I
don't even know what that is.
You're a toy. You're toy. Trash.
Forky.
Yeah.
I don't know. Which one's he on?
4.
I hadn't made that far yet.
Forky.
Yeah, so Leave Us Better Roast. I actually came up with this idea today because every good idea comes from me on the show.
That's so trash.
That maybe you guys could leave us reviews in lyrics, whether they be funny or just kind of nice. I think that's what's happening is everybody out there's just not, they're tired of the negativity towards us.
Let's revamp it.
So let's revamp it, bro.
Gotta be a 5-star.
Leave us lyrics, and if they're good enough, we'll sing them on the show to our own music, do our own interpolation.
Ooh.
And who knows, maybe an artist will cut that.
And we give them 95% of it.
Mm-hmm. And you get nothing but a year's free subscription. Leave us reviews. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok,
X.
We're on that? We're not on that.
Twitter is X, though.
Oh.
Truth.com.
What was that? It was Truth.
That's Trump's website.
For real?
I think so. We love y'all.
Appreciate you.
Peace out.
Fade out, Ray.
Fade out, Ray. Fade out, Ray. Give us one sound, Ray.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it.
Three.
Reid.
God's country.
I think it's getting weird, guys. Just introduce Luke.
We got a...
You'll probably need to use that for the beginning of every episode now.
Oh, man. We said this about him last time, but he's written 1 million number ones. He's earned two-time Grammy winner.
Grammy swimmer.
Grammy swimming.
Is this the same jumps? Did you write the exact same intro as last? Did you copy and paste the intro from last time?
We can skip that.
Oh, he changed a couple
6
things.
Triple Play Awards. Got 2 kids. Producer of the Cool Chips. Big town deer killing. Told a really long story about a sidewalk deer last time.
So long. The entire episode.
He had to leave early. Told the story, then left. We've got Luke Laird back on the God's Country podcast.
He's back, baby. He's back, baby.
That's the first time we've ever said back, dude. How does it feel?
Man,
How's it feel to be back?
I should have done the beatboxing while you were introing in, man.
It's too late. Don't pick up your phone. Try to do it again.
I'm probably one of the few guests you can afford to pay to come back twice.
You know what
You're
was?
definitely one of the only ones that answered to come back.
Wait, first off, did we get him a pair?
Ouch.
I was gonna say he probably came back on to get the free Tacovas, but then I was like, wait a second,
You
did
do
we
get a
not
pair of
him a
Tacovas for coming on today.
Heck yeah.
Congratulations.
These are my only pair right here, and they're like my favorite boots.
What are those?
I have no idea.
I mean,
Those
are
are
they
the-
Tacovas?
Yeah.
Those are like the Ropers.
Hortman
At my
boots.
age, I usually specifically just dress for comfort. So it's,
Same.
if I could, wear if my wife would let me wear Skechers, I probably would. But
Wait, is there a stigma against Skechers?
no, I don't. I mean,
Because I've been thinking about them. They look comfortable. The whole slip-in guys.
You've
can't
been
put 'em on
wearing.
there?
You've been wearing some Hey Dudes.
Oh,
They're free.
well, you're a country songwriter.
Wait a second.
Hey Dudes and Zins.
Yeah, Zen packs.
Does nicotine cure cancer?
I don't have the credentials to answer that.
You wear glasses. You don't have hair. That should be enough condition. That's what everybody.
Yeah.
You're a
I
doctor.
don't know.
Doctor.
Is that like a new trend that's going around, or just has that always been a thing?
I'm asking the doctor.
I saw a guy. Congrats on being a doctor.
Oh, it's. I have no idea where we're going here, but I barely got out of MTSU.
I did see a guy where he's like, it's not the nicotine in cigarettes, it's the 15 other.
That's the guy
chemicals.
I'm talking about. Why is he on my feed, dude? Why is that? Why are they pushing that?
Because the government's.
Why is the government pushing that on your boy, dude?
I have no idea, man. I remember when I started writing, a good percentage of writers smoked cigarettes. They'd walk out. Now I hardly know anybody.
I know.
Same.
I started smoking cigarettes too because of
Told you, mom. Told you smoke cigarettes, mom.
Yeah.
Bro, it wasn't because I liked them, mom. It was to get me in more rooms
Yeah,
and to
there you
get me
go.
out there talking.
Yeah.
When writers would go take a little smoke break, I'd go light one up
Yeah.
and not inhale. I just
Not inhale.
just fake smoke. You know what I'm saying?
Jeez.
Fake smoke. Hey, last time we had you on, you left us because you had more important things to do early, and you actually went and met Dolly Parton that day.
I did.
You met up with Lana Del Rey, who we'll get into later because you
Yeah.
just worked with her on some stuff. It's cool. And y'all went and met Dolly. How was Dolly?
It's wild.
Was she nice? Was she not
was-
nice?
No, yeah.
She a
was-
robot?
I was surprised at how mean she was. No, I'm just kidding. She was super nice. It was one of those. Lana called me and she's like, "Do you want to meet Dolly Parton?" I mean, what do you get?
Yes.
Why would
Every
you even
time.
ask?
Yeah.
So yeah, I apologize. I had to leave early, but we went out, and this is crazy. I think I work hard. Well, not compared to a lot of people, but Dolly Parton, and I don't know how old she is, but she's been doing it for a long time. I get out there and she was shooting a commercial for one of her zillion products. Her manager had said she'd been there since 4 a.m. I was like, what?
Shooting that commercial?
Well, just,
just like
whatever
doing
it takes
stuff.
to get
Working.
ready. Yeah, doing stuff. And so in
There ain't
between,
no telling how long it takes her to get ready, dude.
man,
There ain't no telling.
I don't know.
It takes Jordan
Longer
2
than
hours.
me.
And you look great.
Yeah.
But Dolly is.
What did you do to get ready for this?
Well, nothing. Drank a
Left
cup
our
of coffee,
podcast.
came to your podcast, and
Did you brush your teeth?
I did.
I didn't brush my teeth this morning.
But you know,
Floss.
You don't brush your teeth every morning?
I mean, it just my.
Sometimes
Do you brush your teeth
my
every morning?
kid- I do. I don't every night though.
Gross.
I know. My wife gets
not
on to
gross.
me.
How do y'all go to sleep?
it's not
every
gross.
No, I know Jordan don't brush your teeth. How about you, new guy in the back? Do you brush your teeth every morning, every night?
Give us a smile.
I mean, he's clean cut.
Let me see him.
He's clean.
Twice
Twice a
You
day.
got twice a day, right?
Bro, I'm 3 times a day sometimes, man. If I
Yeah.
if I feel a little, if my teeth ain't feeling
How many
polishy,
cavities you had in your whole life?
1 or 2.
Cool. I never had any.
Yeah, right.
Promise. Promise.
Yeah,
Mama. Call
That's
mama right now.
impressive.
Call mama.
I've never had a cavity.
You're 42, dog. Mama don't know your dental records from the past 10 years. Have you been to the dentist? When's the last time you've been to the dentist?
I don't know about 3 years ago. Didn't have
Nothing's hurting though, right? So,
nothing.
yeah.
Same. Never had a cavity.
Yeah. So I'm assuming, I bet Dolly brushes her teeth.
Oh, yeah, for
multiple
sure.
times.
She
a
probably
day.
got somebody that brushes them for her.
She was super nice. I mean, it was a quick, she doesn't know who I am, but she was kind. Got to get my picture with her.
Yeah.
I literally was one of those, like, what do I say? I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm a songwriter like you. She'd be like, no, you're not. You didn't write I Will Always Love You.
Yeah, you think you are.
No, literally the only thing I could think of, the one mutual person, I mean, I'm sure there's others, but I know the guy who built our house has done some work for her. So I was like, yeah, Rob built my house. And she's like, oh, maybe that must be why he's taking so long to finish my stuff. So then I was like, dang it, did I say the wrong thing? But
no,
she said it in a really nice way. But of course, the rest of the time there, I'm just in my head, I shouldn't have said that,
Yeah.
But
Screwed it up.
it was wild. I mean, yeah, I got to meet Dolly Parton. Crazy.
We, my little girl's obsessed with Dolly. So she just turned 3. We took her to Dollywood. And, we went at Dollywood, you can go and see all her outfits and all her shoes and the tour bus she used to tour on. And dude, obviously it's Dolly Parton, but she's a really, really big deal, dude. She had a lot of outfits, a lot of sparkly outfits.
You guys, being songwriters, I think, like we were talking earlier, she's like such a huge entity, like outside of the music stuff, everything. But sometimes just for fun, I'll go back look up old YouTube videos and seeing her sit there with a guitar and play and sing, it's unreal. And part of me is like, how does she do that with those nails?
Did you see her on the Johnny Carson show? Have you seen that one? Where she plays
so.
She wrote a song for Johnny Carson. It's like, I never hit the big time till I played Johnny Carson's show. I'm telling you, dude, her nails are, and she's playing.
And she played it on the Johnny Carson show?
Hell yeah. Picking.
Nail, yeah.
Nail,
But
yeah.
I mean, it's just,
David Nail, yeah.
yeah. But just the songwriting, and when she sits there and perform, like spot on pitch, I mean, just a naturally gifted, like, you're like, oh yeah, she's the real deal,
She just had her Hall of Fame thing, not inducted to the Hall of Fame, obviously, but her exhibit was open.
Yeah.
And Jordan got to go, and she took Griffin, my little girl, and she videoed her when Dolly walked out for the first time.
That's a sweet video.
And Jordan, or you could see Griffin doing like this, and she goes, oh, it's Dolly. And it's like the first time she's ever seen her in person. And she's like, can I say hi to her? And she was waving, and she got home, and I was like, you got to tell me about it. She goes, so Dolly waved at me. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
Dude, that's like the first concert I ever went to was Randy Travis at our county fair.
Ooh,
and I was it was during his When Forever and Ever Amen was a single. So he's blowing up. I went with my aunt and uncle, and I remember now thinking back, I'm like, man, what an annoying kid. The whole time I was just, and finally caught his eye and he waved, and I was just like, I never forgot it. Yeah, I was like,
that's awesome.
Did you ever get the chance to tell him that? Have you had the chance?
No, I've never.
That's pretty cool, man.
I never met him, and but we do share a birthday, just different years.
Word.
So
happy birthday, whenever that is.
Yeah.
Me and Brad Pitt share a birthday, and Christina Aguilera.
You know who I share a birthday with? Pretty happy about it. Teddy Roosevelt.
Wow. Theodore.
Yep. We should fact check that one because that's a cool one.
You know what else we should fact check? This fact that I know about Teddy Roosevelt is.
Oh, I thought you wrote a song about it.
I did. I just did. Right then. Teddy Roosevelt went on a bear hunt.
I know the song.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, then there's no sense.
That's a great. I always.
You already know the song.
Keep going.
Where they had a bear tied to a tree. And he said, no, thanks. This old bear hunt. And that bear tied to a tree ain't for me.
Ain't for me.
So that's it. He actually didn't want to shoot the bear. It wasn't necessarily tied to a tree, but I think it was kind of a canned.
Yeah,
pinned up.
And he sniffed it out. And
Eddie's a man.
So, in honor of that, they made a little bear, and that's where the teddy bear came from. Teddy bear.
Are you serious?
Dead serious. Check it. It was a, yeah.
Okay.
It's real.
That's a great segment while you got the guitar to go into.
What you mad at? Just tell us what it is. What you mad at? Is it your grandpa's kids? Might be your best friend. Or your neighbor's cat. Just tell us what you mad at.
And we knew you like that one.
You hadn't heard that? Oh, it was the new.
I'm sorry.
He hasn't heard it because he doesn't listen to our podcast.
No, I totally knew that one.
You can always tell when someone's like, "Oh, that's awesome."
Yeah.
You're like, they've never heard an episode of the podcast.
Yeah. Like, when did you write that?
Are you mad at anything?
Wait, is it real?
We're getting fact check. Jordan's doing some fact checking.
Yes, the teddy bear was named after U.S. President Theodore Teddy Roosevelt. That's all.
Wow.
That's all. Roosevelt. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know.
we
First,
can just leave now.
so for all you haters out there, I thought that story wasn't true.
Haters.
My mom can't. She don't watch it. Does she watch it?
Yeah, she does. Damn.
All right. Anyway,
Who's mad at something?
blurry hands. I know what I'm mad at.
What you mad at?
People that open their banana upside down.
Oh, dude, people do that?
Yeah, man.
That's some serial killer,
happened the other day, and I was
stuff.
like,
That's reason to be mad.
I don't do it, guys.
Who did you see?
No,
and
I
where?
can't say.
Somebody was a writer.
Maybe.
Yeah. So they probably listen to this podcast.
Might
you
be,
know
might
who
be,
you are.
Might be on it.
Quit opening bananas upside down, Singleton.
Is he doing it? He don't eat
I don't
bananas.
know.
That dude ain't had a piece of fruit in years.
Yeah, he's not in it. I mean, this is, I guess, it's kind of personal.
Yes.
I'm just a little bit mad at my dad bod.
Wow, it looks great.
You know,
Somebody got a sweatshirt on today in the summer?
Yeah, I'm a little, I feel like I work out.
Yeah.
I just, struggle with the sweets. I just really love some Dairy
Man,
Queen.
me too recently.
Man, I
Some Dairy Queen, like
I love
a
a
Snickers
Blizzard.
Blizz.
Yeah, I can't really be mad at Dairy Queen. I mean, it's not their fault. It's my self-control.
Yeah.
Definitely
Well,
is.
it's kind of a little bit of both. Probably.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm 47 now, though, so part of me is like, does it matter?
You know what gets me is late night. Late night, yeah, because your life's almost over.
You're like, well, I'm halfway
Yeah, it's
there.
good. That and my lower back pain.
Late night snacking gets me. Like if we'll watch a TV show and get done at 10:30 or so, like we're watching Homeland, get done at 10:30, and it's been 4 hours, 5 hours, because we eat dinner now
Yeah, 6.
5:30,
Yeah,
Yeah,
6
oh, yeah,
o'clock. I mean,
for
like
sure.
sometimes 4. Like we'll just run. I mean, and so I'm starving at 10:30, and I'm not tired because I just watched a CIA show, and I'm like, man, what's in there? Oh, Griffin's birthday cake and a glass of milk. Here we go.
I get down on that.
Yeah, or
You know-
some pretzels and some pretzel little peanut butter pretzel
the
balls with the peanut butter in the middle. And
we buy the huge, of course,
if you just drop about 12 in Nutella and you gotta find them, go in there and find them. That's
It's
mean.
an Easter egg hunt.
It's mean, dude.
My move lately has just been like, whenever I get to that point, I just eat a bunch of fruit. Like I just, and I don't know if that's any better or worse, but I'm like, I'll just have blueberries and I'll
no,
just
that's
go,
good.
I eat a bunch of blueberries, then I'll eat an apple.
It's probably better than eating
Go to bed right
half
now.
a
Go to bed right
half
now.
a birthday cake.
I mean, that's what in my head. That's the reasoning. Is it's like it's better than.
I don't have a problem late night snacking, but basically because I can't stay awake late.
Nice.
That's if you ask my wife what she's mad at, probably when we get in bed to watch a show at night, and the second my head hits the pillow, she's like, "Are you sleeping?" I'm like, "No."
No.
I literally cannot stay awake.
Cheyenne, when she falls asleep in our shows, and I say, "Are you awake?" She'll go, "No, is he still? I got that girl in the cage." I'm like, "What? That happened 2 hours ago."
Me and Jordan have a thing where I'll hit it on like 2 times fast forward to the last episode, and I'll narrate the whole episode. Like, so right here he's talking about so-and-so
my
going to
gosh.
Berlin, and then when he got by cyanide, and she's like, "Okay, you did a pretty good job."
There you go.
Has anybody fell over lately? Anybody fell in a while?
Wait, I'm not gonna do my
okay.
mad at yet. I got 2 things. One is I left my pillow in New Orleans. I think I've talked about this, and I'm still dealing with the hotel people to try to figure it out when I should just go buy another one.
Yeah, they don't want to send it.
I ordered a new pillow that they were like, "It's awesome, it's cooling, dude." It's
cooling.
I cannot sleep, and I gotta have a cold pillow. Like that is I don't care.
Do you know about this cold pillow
No.
movement?
I gotta have a
I didn't either
I gotta
until
have a cold pillow. And the ones we used to have, or Jordan still has, I'll still try to like put my head against it sometimes. It's so cold all night long.
Okay, what is it?
I don't know.
What kind is it?
She's looking
She
it
don't
up.
know either.
But the one I ordered is not it.
Did you order a purple?
No.
Okay.
Purples are still kind of a little warm. This pillow right here is a game changer. Anyway,
This is good.
Slumber Shield.
Slumber
I
Shield.
need that.
Shield.
Okay.
Slumber Shield. It's
But
about
how's the firmness?
200. It's firm. And it doesn't, it stays like, it's like that thick and it stays that way.
So it doesn't concave when you put
No,
your
and it's not
fat head on
huge
it.
and it doesn't sink in like this. And when you flip it over, you got to put your head way high because it's, man, I haven't been sleeping good for like 2 weeks, dude. Literally last night I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning and couldn't fall back asleep till 4:30.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm telling you, it's because of my pillow. It's trash.
Yeah,
I should
we
just
got-
go buy one.
You got to figure that out.
But they're like $200. One more mad
Good
thing
luck with that.
I'm mad at is spam emails in different languages that you don't know how to unsubscribe from.
Oh,
That's trash, dude. That's
Many
bogus.
levels to that.
they don't have like
What a great.
You can't.
unsubscribe, but it,
Well,
says,
yeah, but
probably
it
says
says-
it somewhere,
It
but
says
you don't know.
Percibe.
Yeah.
And then you click, oh, that must be
That
it.
means
and then it's like
You accidentally click subscribe to anything like this.
all of them.
They're all right next,
Yeah.
like around
There's
the
one, man. I don't know if y'all get this one, but it's like Bergeret de France. And I've literally been getting these emails for years, and I've clicked everything at the bottom of them that looks like I've even gone into Google.
I have never got a spam email in a different language.
It's trash, man.
Did you sign up for
You
something?
signed
somewhere?
up for something.
Yeah,
That's what
somewhere.
we
They
tell
got
my
me
mother-in-law.
somewhere.
Yeah. What do
We
you
tell my mother-in-law you're getting them because you're clicking on them.
I didn't click on Bergeret de France.
Although part of that's not true. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Part
It's
of that's not
targeted.
true. Because here's how I know this. Because one time my wife is going through my iPhone watch and she was like, "Who is this email from?" And it said some dirty stuff. And I was like, dude, everybody gets those. She was like, "What?" I was like, "Ask any of your brothers right now if they've ever gotten those emails and they'll say yes." And they were all, and luckily they had my back. They were like, "Yeah, dude, if you have ever signed up for anything as a male," and I'm just shouting this
yeah,
out
if
for
you've
all
ever
males
typed
out there,
four-wheeler into your
Oh,
phone,
yeah.
or
they're going to target you.
or said you're 35, male, whatever. Like if you've ever signed up for anything,
Yeah.
you're gonna get them, dude. You're gonna get them.
yeah. Well,
that
that's
is-
a good call to do it in a different language and not.
Yeah, really. I hadn't thought of that.
It doesn't say
Smart. They're getting
unsubscribe.
smart.
Very
They're getting
annoying.
smarter.
Yeah, smart.
Getting smarter.
Have you heard about this trend going around where people are discussing the 100 man versus gorilla
No.
fight?
yeah, I've heard it.
So
100
do
men.
that?
100 men versus one gorilla.
But it's not all at one time. It's like one at a time, right?
no, I think it's all at one time.
Oh, I think it's one at a time. Can we check that? I think it's like you fight a guy, he dies. You fight another one, you fight another. That's one. That's what because there's like numbers of
Oh,
them.
we can do both of them. That gorilla all day long.
Yeah.
Gorilla.
Oh wait, yeah. Explain to Luke. Explain what we're talking about.
I don't know. There's just a trend going around of like everybody they're discussing. Do you think 100 men versus one gorilla, who would win in the scenario where they all get to go at one time?
I would say men if all get to go at one time.
Yeah, there's going to be
Yeah.
a few casualties.
Sure.
The first 10 that get on the
Or are
gorilla.
you asking Luke or are you just going to
No,
answer the
well,
question?
I
you,
guess
you started answering before I did.
I was going to say how big's the gorilla, but I'm
Silverback.
any gorilla.
Silverback giant.
Yeah.
It's like
It's 100 men at one time and a silverback gorilla.
Yeah, 100 men at one time. A silverback
Man.
gorilla.
men.
I just want to know who would
The one
sign
that's-
up for that.
Well, I
I
think
guess if your life's not going well or something, you're like, this could be, or be
If
my-
there's a prize, big prize money, you get to split $100 million maybe or something.
yeah.
well,
Ooh.
the way I read it was a draft. Like they were drafting the top 100 fighters of America. Like who would your 100 be?
somebody's
So like who's your number
confident
one? Like
enough.
Joe Rogan would for sure. You put him in there. I would put him in. I feel like he's like a fighter guy.
Joe,
Yeah, he would be in the top 100 probably.
of fighters in America.
Yeah, and then you go like
he
Sean
wouldn't.
Strickland.
No, he wouldn't.
I mean, you get all
like
those
UFC,
MMA dudes.
like the big UFC
Right.
guys.
Dude, those guys could rock Joe Rogan's world. Any of them.
Yeah, I know that.
So
but
why
in
would
the
you put
top,
Joe
well, in the
Rogan?
top 100? He's probably in the top 100 of the world.
Of fighters?
Yeah, dude. He's
Joe
a bad
Rogan?
he's a bad dude.
No way.
Bro, he's a bad dude.
In the world?
No, oh wait, is it the world or is it America? I can't remember.
You're out of your mind, period.
How much? I would be curious. First, I'd want to know how much can this gorilla bench press. Now, is there a way to figure that out?
Jordan
How
can
much
figure it
can
out.
a gorilla bench press a
Just
silverback?
Google that.
New
Let's see what
guy's back
happens.
here.
Sorry, Jordan.
Random guy in the back shaking his head. Yes, for some reason.
A bench press contest, just gorillas.
Here's one of our buddies. Here's one we could like to do. If you were to fight either a gorilla, They can bench press around 1,000 pounds.
Okay, I'm
little-
giving
a
it.
little
Some
more than
estimates
me.
suggest a gorilla could lift up to 1,100 pounds
I think the gorilla would win.
versus 100 men
100 men.
at one time.
Yeah.
Do you know how many 100 men?
How are you going to kill him? You going to put him in a headlock?
I mean, you got one guy.
If he just
Bro,
starts
you know how big
swinging-
their heads are? You couldn't get his head in a headlock.
Okay,
Once
how
he
big are their
bites
heads?
somebody's head off,
That what?
Scared,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
the scared tactic too. The fear.
I didn't take that. I didn't take fear into effect.
the first guy, this guy coming this way at this gorilla is mauled
done.
yeah,
in
I mean,
a heartbeat.
I don't think there's any surprise. Yeah, there's no secret in that. There's gonna be 10 dudes.
When you said
take it.
when you said a trend, I thought like this is
People are trying
It's
to.
actually happening.
Yeah, you can go on to TikTok and there's a video
fight a
series.
gorilla.
Yeah.
You can pay $100. Fight a
Okay,
gorilla.
here's one our buddies do that's always mixed is if you had to fight one of these things, which one would it be? A grizzly bear or a silverback?
My gosh.
I mean, that's death either way.
Okay.
I don't think it really matters.
Which one kills you faster?
Yeah, exactly.
A bear will kill you faster. A grizzly bear will kill you faster than a gorilla. 100%.
They just do one.
Yeah, just one. Just takes one.
That's a
You
tough-
remember the story we heard about the Montana guy? So this is a cool story. I hope it's true. I think it's true. When we were hunting in Montana, we ran into a
This
lot
is some
of,
hunting stuff.
yeah. We ran into This is the way this episode's going today, babe. We're just freestyling. All right.
Oh, that one's
The
pretty
whole
good. That was pretty
episode,
cool.
one of us
Ray,
just
clip that. That was
beatboxes.
pretty good. My
So out there we were hunting and we meet this guy. I guess I should probably leave names out of it. But basically the bear in Legends of the Fall, the bear in like any commercials you've ever seen, there's only like 3
yeah.
bears. And they're actually trained where they can do that.
Right.
So the bear trainer guy was eating with us that night. Or either I can't remember.
I think it's his buddy. It wasn't actually the bear
So-
trainer guy.
But he lives in the area where we're hunting. So
You pass his house. If you fly into
no wait, dude. Okay. I know. We don't need to tell him where he lives.
this is Bozeman,
There'll be a link to the pin.
Drop
you can actually go visit this
an
bear.
Onyx point. So anyway, so the bear is shooting a commercial for like don't leave food in national parks.
Yeah.
And he's sitting on a table eating the cake, right?
Right.
So they're filming it, whatever. They get done filming. And I think they have him in like the way they described it, like for the commercials, they basically have, he lives in this one area and then they have an acre pen where you can set up your commercial or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They bring the bear in, the bear eats the cake, and then they give him back to his regular place of residence. So he's eating the cake or
Which
whatever.
is still probably like an acre, sadly.
That dude, don't put the guy on blast. I don't know, maybe.
No, I've seen his
500.
I've seen his house.
So he's eating the cake. They get done. He's like, all right. I think the bear's name is Brutus. I think so. He's like,
Makes sense.
It is.
Brutus, come on back. We're gonna, he was like, great, and they're like buddies, right?
Yeah.
So he goes, great job today, and puts his hand up to give him 5, right? Well, the bear just goes to give him 5, and this appropriate pinky just lacerates because when he goes to give him 5, it just kind of
Yeah.
and it just nicked him right there on the jug.
Done.
He said he grabs his neck,
Oh my god.
immediately turns to the vehicles and runs as hard as he possibly can to the vehicles. Gets like 10 yards from the truck, falls over. They throw him in the truck. He survives. So it's all good.
Wow.
But one little
One high
One
five.
high five. One pinky.
One, yeah, not even the whole
One.
5.
Yeah. One
you think,
little
this
rogue.
would, you think this would cut you right now?
Rogue pinky.
What about the pollen been getting you?
Oh yeah.
Stomping me this year.
Dude, I do my wife take a Zyrtec.
Yeah.
So I do that every morning.
Keep it on. Like keep it on.
But I feel like
Obsessed with
it starts I swear like in February. For me, like I'm like, what's going on? It's still freezing it. Like, yeah, the pollen and Nashville, is just like the worst. I'd never actually, where I grew up in Pennsylvania, I never remember walking out and seeing like actual pollen on your truck.
Yeah.
And here it's just wild.
Yeah. It's awful.
I don't remember that in West Tennessee, honestly.
Why are we talking about pollen? You just brought it up.
Because I couldn't talk
he
about
doesn't turkey hunt, so
hunting.
there's nothing else to talk about spring with.
Well, let's talk about deer hunting because we had you on last year. I think it was post deer season. Before, did you kill a deer with your recurve last year?
No, that's another embarrassing. I didn't have as much time to get out. I missed one. So
Missed one.
that's that on those days. That's when you're like, should have taken the compound.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, it was kind of a rough season. But you know, the thing I love about bow hunting, I got buddies who do a lot of duck hunting and different things. I love the time by myself.
Mm.
So that's my favorite thing, is just being out in the woods, sitting in a tree stand. My wife's like, how do you sit there for 3 hours? And kind of like my dad said back in the day. Of course, this is pre-cell phone, but they're like, what do you do? My dad's like, oh, I got plenty up in my head to keep me entertained for hours.
Yeah, man.
Ain't no doubt.
And I think even like you guys would probably agree, like as songwriters, just for ideas and stuff, you just need that time to,
Brother.
without input, to actually
Without
process.
distraction.
Yeah, without distraction. And so that is my favorite thing about deer hunting,
Same.
bow hunting.
That's my favorite thing.
And just
It used not to be for
Right.
me. It used to be
Yeah.
about the deer.
We gotta-
right.
yeah.
I gotta shoot something. I gotta. If I don't see deer, I'm mad.
yeah.
If I don't see deer, I shouldn't have gone. You know, it was that for a long time. But I do agree. Like getting, especially as a creative, and your mind going crazy. Like it does feel really. I mean, that fishing,
Mm-hmm.
turkey hunting, playing golf. If you're playing golf alone, honestly, if I'm playing golf with other people, I still it's still a distraction to me. But if I'm playing golf alone or just anywhere being alone out in the outdoors, man, I feel like is that for me now.
Yeah.
And bow hunting's a big part of that.
The fall too is my favorite time of year. Really, I mean, I like spring too, like the change of seasons, but the fall when the weather first gets crisp and
Oh,
just
it's the
the
best.
smell of it, I just love it. And it makes me think of growing up, like hunting with my dad and stuff. So I think I'm pretty nostalgic, but I do love that time of year.
I think that's what. Look, I'll duck hunt.
Yeah.
I'll go with people, but like
Yeah, with Rusty.
100%. Yeah, that's not even really fair.
We'll go to one of the best duck hunting places in the world.
For 2 days.
Yeah, for free.
And shoot 5,000.
And 11-man limits every day.
That's great. But I think like the solidarity to me is it. I mean, it's nice to just kind of be out there, just kind of
It is.
with nothing,
Yeah.
you know,
And, you know,
or with plenty, but with nothing.
Yeah.
you know?
No, I agree. I will tell you a quick duck hunting. So that's something else I didn't grow up doing, but I have a buddy who
We didn't either.
has a camp in Arkansas, and he's always been on me. We got to go. But this year, he's like, let's go down, take our boys down for the youth hunt. And my son, it was his first time, but he really wanted to go. So I was like, let's go. So we went down there, and I will tell you, like, seeing let's see, how old was he at the time? 11. So we went, I guess, whenever that youth hunt is, sometime in February, early, whatever. Went down and seeing him like bring his first duck down. I mean, we were kind of off the side. He was in one of those like lay down blinds, and which I'm like, I don't know how smart it was for us to put 2 11-year-olds in there with loaded shotguns, but it was awesome. All of a sudden, they fly over and they just start and he brings one down. And before I could even get over to him, because we were kind of off to the side, he's up. He's running towards me, grabbed the duck by the neck. He's like, can I put it in my room? Can I put it in my room?
Come on.
It was just, it's hard to describe it. It was just like, wow. And I've never even shot a duck. Like it was,
Yeah.
and I could just see that joy. And I was like, yeah, of course you can put it in your room.
Yeah.
Which I still got to get. It's still in our freezer. Which
I got
my
a guy.
wife would like.
I got a
okay.
guy. Alex Wilson at the.
No, that's who I took my deer a couple
He's
years
great.
ago there.
He's great.
Yeah, I'm taking it. I called him right after we did that, and he's like, hey, we're a little low on freezer space, but I was like, I'll just call you back, but I need to get it down there. But yeah, I think that experience with your son, like that, again, that hunt
Takes it to
wasn't
another
about me
level,
going
yeah.
down there killing anything. It was that time with him, the memories, and I think all kinds of hunting, you know, whether you do it for like getting to be alone and then also with friends and family, like it's just so awesome.
Yeah.
It becomes about that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, my kids are young, but I'm excited about my little ones growing up and being able to, I'm not wishing time away, but like
Sure.
I can feel my time not necessarily coming to an end,
Yeah.
but starting to switch to being able to take them.
Yeah.
And like me caring less about going out there and hunting a deer, but like like
Yes.
you're saying, just making memories in the woods with them and seeing their, seeing them light up when they see their first deer, shoot their first deer.
Yeah.
You guys
whatever.
haven't experienced this yet, but you know what really catapults that is killing the biggest deer you'll ever kill in your life, which I just so happen to do this past year. So.
Oh, let's tell us.
No, don't. Everybody knows. That's why you don't have. That's why there's no.
That's why
there's
we
free-
know you don't listen to this podcast.
Well, that's
because
why
I
there's
tell
no
that
fr-
story
freezer.
every
You've told it. Now, where?
I thought I showed you this. We've written since I
Was
since
it-
I-
That's why there's no
How-
freezer space at Alex's because
What was the acreage
Dan's
of-
getting 4 mounts of it.
What was the acreage of like
4
the high
capes in there.
fence? What was the acreage?
It's like Brutus's pen.
You know, at the BMIs or somewhere, I saw a guy and he was like, "Hey man, there's a rumor that deer was high fence going around town," and I was like,
Yeah, but he wasn't next to it when I shot it.
"It
No.
wasn't. Dude. It's not in the picture." Come on, I showed you this.
Have you got to experience that deer hunt with your boys yet? Have they?
No, I haven't. It's my fault, but I just need to make the time to do. One of the things, I mean, you can't guarantee a perfect hunt first time, but
Sure.
I also don't. I don't want to go out multiple times at first and sit for 3 hours and see nothing. So I'm trying to
Yeah,
figure out. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
And it'll be with a gun first time, but just because
My dad almost ruined me on turkey hunting because
Oh, can I tell this story? So we were hunting.
Sure.
I was hunting with my brother-in-law, and he was hunting with Dad, and he had never been turkey hunting before. And
But we got into turkey. We got into turkey hunting later in life. Like we didn't turkey hunt when I was growing up. My
Right.
dad didn't. My dad fished all spring.
Right.
That's what he did. And then when I was in high school is when he started turkey hunting. Maybe late middle school.
Yeah, because I was in high school when I started turkey.
So
hunting.
late
I was
mid-
15. I couldn't drive. I know that.
So late middle school, he started turkey hunting and he killed one. He felt it. He saw it, like experienced the fly down, experienced
Wow.
the gobble, in his face, shot the turkey, and he was hooked, bro. He was
Oh,
going
yeah.
every day. And so we didn't get in. I didn't kill my first turkey till I was in high school, or like late middle school. But yeah, go ahead.
But Dad has a tendency to like really hoof it. And where we're hunting,
Well, he was
it
so
is-
obsessed. He was so obsessed with it.
It's super
Hilly.
and I don't mean like
Yeah, West Tennessee
little
hilly.
hilly. I mean like hilly.
yeah.
And so me and Jason, my brother-in-law, had hunted slow that morning and got on a turkey and gotten real close to killing it. Just had a great morning, watched the sun come up, just easy. And we finally meet up with Reid and Dad. Reid has all his camo off
Bogus, bro.
and is walking in a cut-off T-shirt with his arms over his, he had his gun across his back and his arms. He goes walking up, he's like, "Oh, I'm never doing this again." I was like, "Dad, what did you do, man?" He's like, "Well, I just figured over the next ridge we'd hear one."
It's
know,
just
over the
one of
next-
those
and had
non-goblin
just
days
walked
and-
him.
Oh, that's rough. Yeah.
Walked him silly. It was like 90
I got
degrees.
down to the bottom. Dan and my brother-in-law were saying, I was like, "What y'all been doing? Y'all been hiking these hills?" And they were like, "No, dude, we've been napping. We've been
chilling.
Yeah,
sleeping."
we napped.
Yeah.
It was awesome,
This
man.
is- this is
That was a
bogus.
heck of a day. Here's that little tiny deer that changed my life.
Oh my gosh.
I showed you that, dude. I know I did. 211, but who's counting? You know?
Where?
Iowa.
That was Iowa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Oklahoma.
Yeah. It could have been, or, West Tennessee.
Yeah,
Or
West
Illinois.
That's
I
what
think it was
meant.
Illinois.
It was
Yeah, it
Southern
was.
Illinois,
It was.
Northern Illinois, Western Illinois.
It was.
You know what I did there in my head.
Yeah. Hey, tell us about the Lana Del Rey record, dude.
Oh man. I have to tell you, like, it's kind of one of the, doing this job we have.
Why'd you Bonnie ears it?
Huh?
Why'd you quotation it?
Because man, it's like, how do we get to do this for a living? I still have to pinch myself. Like I
Yeah.
get to go write songs, like do what I was doing in my bedroom growing up and actually have a career with it.
Yeah.
You have all kinds of different experiences. And I tell people some of my best experiences, the song never made a dime, but
Totally.
But as far as just wild things that happen, my wife and I were down at, Lori McKenna was playing a show down at the Country Music Hall of Fame. And as one does, I was on my phone scrolling before Lori came out. And I went into it's like hidden messages or requests in Instagram to where it's not like your followers. And most of it's spam or whatever, but there was this guy and he was like, "Hey, Luke, I'm Lana Del Rey's manager, and she was trying to get in contact with you." And I was just like, "Yeah, right." Like, it's just so outside of our world. So I was like, I didn't respond right away because, like, is this guy real? So Beth and I do a little research. I'm like, I think it actually is. So I was just like, yeah, I'd love that. And I just gave him my number. Didn't hear anything for a few days. And then one night I get a text, and supposedly it's Lana, and she's just like, "Hey, I was just wondering if you would want to get together and just talk about music or write a song or something." And I was like, I guess it's probably really her. So I was like, sure. Literally.
Or I might end up getting killed by some.
Yeah, exactly.
Robbed.
But worth it. Worth a try.
2 days later, at my little cabin where I write, she rolls up in a rental truck and gets out, and I'm like, yeah, that's Lana Del Rey. She comes in, it's just the two of us, and she was super nice, just talking about music. And she was like, well, first of all, I was like, if you don't mind me asking, why did you reach out to me? Like, I'm just curious.
Trying to put the pieces together.
It's not that I don't think I can write, like, just how would you even come across? I'm like, was it my work with Rodney Atkins or Clay Walker? I can't.
She was like, the Cool Chips.
No, I
It's the Cool Chips, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And she, it was pretty wild because she was so familiar with like songwriters and country music. And what she told me was like, I just had researched some different Nashville songwriters, and I thought that we would connect. And I was like, that is crazy.
That's
and
cool.
Just on her own. And so
that's crazy.
I was like, so after we talked for a while, and I was like, she goes, well, I do have a couple little things on my phone. Just like her singing into her phone. And this one thing sounded like the start of a chorus. I was like, that's cool. I just picked up the guitar, and we literally wrote that song. It was the first one that she released, called Henry Come On. And it was just so natural and smooth, and recorded it right there. Literally just gave her one of these SM7s. She's sitting on my couch, no headphones, no click track, anything like that. We write it, record it. And I was like, wow, this girl is one of the best singers I've sat in a room with. Like, spot on singer. There's no vocal tuning. It just is what it is.
Natural.
And that turned into this record. I sent the files to a guy she's worked with a lot in LA, Drew Erickson, who did the strings and stuff. And it was just like one of the most wildly, like, coolest creative experiences I've had. So it went so well that first day. She, I think that following week, she's like, I'm going to stay in Nashville a little longer. And we got together like 4 or 5 more days, wrote a few more songs. And then from there, she came back to Nashville several times. And so we've done quite a few songs, but like the first 2 have been released, and I honestly don't know what's going to happen from here. I just kind of wait to hear. But one of the coolest things was getting to go out to Stagecoach, because she was playing there this year, and to really see, these songs that we did in my cabin come to life and play with a full band. And yeah, man, as a writer, you just never know where you're going to get to. But I just love working with artists who are such, like, know who they are as an artist. They're not chasing any trend. And that's totally her. Like, the second like I was telling Beth, I feel like she's kind of like her own genre. It's like, people are like, are the songs you're doing country? And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I guess they could pass for that depending on who's singing it, but they're just songs, and they're songs I'm really proud of. And there's not one talk in the room of like, could this be on the radio? Or you're just trying to write what feels
whatever she
right.
wants to.
Yeah. And that's just so freeing. It's just different than what I do a lot of days. So really cool. I mean, just wild experience that I got that Instagram message, and I'm like, this is crazy. And she's just so kind. And like, one thing I told her early on was like, I'm not someone who like stays up super late. Like, I really value like my family time. So I like to put my kids to bed and that. And she was so cool with that. So a lot of times we'd be working, and we never worked super late, but then I would go up to the house and tuck the kids in and all that, and yeah, man, just she was so respectful and just crazy talented.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what I was going to ask you, kind of that same thing is like, so she didn't come in saying, hey, I want to do country music. I want to do a country record. She just like, hey, I've got these songs, these ideas in my head.
She's got these little nuggets, and
I just want to go after them with you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty wild. Like, let's just do what feels good and see where it leads.
You know who is also like that I've written with, which is wild because I think he actually has a song going to country radio now. But have you written with Gavin Hadcock?
Yes,
Dude, it is.
he's one of my favorites.
It's
Really?
the guy is just like, this is what
Doing
I was
his thing.
thinking today. This has no like radio direction. I just want to do this, and this is the melody I had. And I mean, I've written with him a couple times now, and man, that guy's just doing what he wants to do.
See, he's another one of my favorite new, because you get the sense he's not like listening to something that's like blowing up and like, I got to do something like that. It's
No, sir.
literally his own thing. And that is compelling to me.
Agreed.
And first time I heard his stuff, it's like, if you sit there and start judging it from like, as a music row songwriter who's been doing this for years, you might say, I would have done, but there's something compelling. And I think the older I get, the more I'm kind of in tune with that. Like, I can't put a finger on why I like this, because I probably wouldn't even have written that idea like that. But why do I want to go back and listen again? Or why, when he sings the first line of a song, I'm curious to see what happens. It's not like in my head, I go through all the scenarios and I know what's going to happen. And that dude, I will tell you something. I just went to his show in Nashville.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Oh yeah. They love it.
Dude, it's like a movement.
Like experience wise, unreal. Like just
the crowd. I mean, they're just so passionate, just screaming every word. And this is a guy who hasn't had a radio hit, which for a while we know things have, it's that has totally changed.
They don't need one.
And it's exciting because all of a sudden when I go in with a new artist, and that it's not the thinking of, hey, I got to write them a radio single. It's like, let's write something awesome that you love. And, it could turn into a radio single, but I just want to work with artists like that who aren't chasing anything. They're doing their own thing. His producer's a guy in Athens who they've just been making this music, and it's very exciting.
I would venture to say that's one of the only pros to social media and TikTok and these artists that are coming out of that, is that it has come to a point where they don't have to say what you have to say to get on country radio anymore. You know, like they don't have to conform to this town or the radio or that type of music. They can literally, like Gavin, like these other cats, they can literally just go in there and write songs that they love, stories of their lives.
For sure.
And sell out shows. I mean, and they're making so much money on the road that you don't need radio. And these songs don't need radio.
I mean, he did just send a song to radio, but and I hope it does great. But literally, if it died tomorrow, it's not going to affect his following one bit.
He doesn't care either.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now. I mean, when we wrote that day, he was like, man, I'm sending this thing to radio, and just when they think they got me cornered, I want to hit them with something else like this. And he started playing this thing, and that's what we wrote. And he's been playing it. It's called On One. And
And did you guys write that with Rhett?
Yeah.
And put the F word in the chorus.
I'm going to send you. I took a video of him doing that the other night.
Yeah, please.
I didn't realize that you were on the.
I would love to see it.
It's so good, man.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. He's just, that. So the way that song came about is he had this melody. It was kind of like it kind of felt Nirvana-ish, honestly, when he played it. And me and Rhett both were like, man, that feels like Nirvana.
Yeah.
So we already knew we were out of the box before we ever even started. And I said, well, man, my wife last night, I said, and he did have some ideas. I said, dude, I'm just throwing this out there. You don't have to take it, whatever, but it kind of makes sense for what you're doing. He's now 3. Happy birthday, Boone. Is like, he's wild man right now, dude.
Yeah.
He's wild. He wants to be outside. He don't want any clothes on. He wants to start fires.
Just like his daddy.
He throw rocks at donkeys and run his 4-wheeler into barbed wires. He's just wild.
At donkey pork cupcake.
So yeah, it's one donkey. It's not mine. Chill out.
Yeah.
So
That makes it worse. Throwing rocks at another person's donkey.
So
They'll be fine.
yeah, it's fine. It's a donkey. So he's just wild. Just a
Yeah.
wild guy, you know. And so it had been the day before had been long, and I got back, and she was like, "Golly, I'm glad you're home." I was like, "Okay, what's up? What do I need to do? Who do I need to? What do I need to fix?" You know. And she's like, "Boone has been on one," and I was like, "Okay." And I just put it in my phone. I just put on one in my phone, and I was telling him that story, and he was like, "Yeah, that's what we're doing today, baby." And,
I love it.
And you know,
I
Rhett's-
stay on one.
and Rhett's great. You know,
yeah.
he's one of the best. And so we just decided we were gonna not even. You know, it's like we gave each other the like, okay, we know that we're not doing this. We are doing this.
Yes.
You got to when you're doing this, you got to go all the way.
Yeah.
You can't try to have one foot in the radio world
No,
and
no,
one
no.
foot in this world.
Well,
You got to
also,
go.
You also too got like with these new guys because there a lot of them are so young. You got to let them drive, man, and that's hard.
Oh,
It's hard to let them drive sometimes.
well, to your point, and you said it way better than I'll say it. But like as an experienced writer, we see these things that are catching fire fast. And we go, well, this is wrong with that. This is wrong with that. This is wrong with that. And this is wrong with that from our framework of art that we've constructed over however long you've been constructing your art world. Mine would be 15 to 20 years. And you go, well, it doesn't align with that. So because of that, something about it's wrong. When in reality, they're creating this movement without the help of us.
For real.
Without the help of Nashville.
In their own unique way, in only a way that they can do it.
And dude, if you, and maybe I'm giving up some secrets here, but it's like, to me, as an experienced writer, like you said, it's like you start going, okay, I don't need to fix this.
Yeah.
If I can be at a place where I can help him convey what he's already doing,
Yeah.
that's where I need to be.
That's it.
There doesn't need to be any of my influence on this because I'm going to mess that up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I tell people all the time, a huge majority of any success I've had in writing songs is just being a good listener.
Totally.
Like, and when you're, you know, in my case, when I'm in there with artists, I'm writing for their record, not mine. So you have to pay attention to what an artist responds to, what they get excited about, and roll with that, just like you're
1000%.
saying. Because that's the whole deal. Because I've told people before, you could go in a room and write, you know, He Stopped Loving Her Today, or whatever songs of the year. I Hope You Dance with someone, and if they don't feel connected to it, a part of it, they're not gonna do it. And then it's like, it's not about me. Like as a co-writer, as a collaborator, like if I want to make my own record, then yeah, I can do it exactly how. But I've learned so much from that because I've been a part of songs that no way would I've come up with on my own. I mean, literally just the last two artists we talked about, Lana Del Rey and Gavin Adcock. I mean, those songs are so different that I was a part of, but it's because I'm following their artistry and then like, oh, this is fun. And that's what keeps me excited to do this every day. I don't want to do the same thing every day. Like, and I want to learn from, and like you said, you learn from the new people just as much as you learn from the Hall of Famers.
1,000%, dude.
Every day I'm like,
especially
holy
ones
cow.
that are in their own in their own box,
For sure.
doing their thing. They're not trying to do what the town's already done.
That's so true.
When there's a lot of them that are, you know,
Exactly.
I think that's an important thing to realize and to understand moving forward as a writer. And if I could give some advice to any pursuing young cats out there, it's like, I feel like I don't feel like, I know for a fact I probably missed out on some relationships that would have been fruitful monetarily as well as like, you know, to yourself, because I was so determined to voice or to influence the song with what I had to say.
Right.
When in reality, I probably should have just like laid back and like, I mean,
well, that's part of the learning curve.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it's
is.
part of being in town for 15 years.
And
It
it's
is.
being confident enough to not have to say anything.
do you have any
Like-
relationships you think you messed up over the years? I have one prime.
Oh, I know somebody that hates you.
Yeah.
I'm just
Taylor Swift.
What?
Did you miss that?
Well, I wrote with her once and then didn't pursue it.
Bethard says the same thing.
I mean, a lot of people did. It's not that I didn't think she was good. I just, who knows? There's so many artists, and
FGL. Mine's FGL. I'll just so you're not out by yourself.
No,
I messed that up completely. They knew who they were, and I was trying to do a thing, and I should have just shut up.
Mine's Boys to Men. I wrote with one of them one time. He never called me back.
Man, he was good.
You serious?
Too.
Yeah.
We wrote with Boys to Men. Sean Stockman.
I actually texted him the other day. I was like, hey, dude, my daughter loves watching your baby back ribs commercial. He was like, oh, we had so much fun writing that.
That's
out of
wild.
all the ones.
I would love to write with Boys to Men.
Yeah.
Well, we did a country thing.
He was cool.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
There's probably are, like you said, they may not have told me, hey, I hate that guy. I don't want to write with him again. But
Nobody hates you.
I was
you know what I mean? Like, part of what I always tell, like some of our new writers or whatever, if you get an opportunity with like a big writer or an artist, so much of that first time with someone is you want them to leave the room having had a good experience.
Even if that's song or not.
Because
1,000%.
It's a long game.
For sure.
Don't be bummed if you leave and you're like, dang it, we didn't write the first single. It's like, if that artist is excited leaving there and they think, that guy was pretty cool, I could hang with him again, it's will get you so much further than being like, coming in, I have this hit chorus, I know if they do it. Like,
no doubt. Be a good hang.
So much of it. With what we do, think about it. Because we all know crazy talented people that artists don't want to work with because it's just not fun. And there's too many talented people in Nashville.
Yeah. And they don't have to.
They don't have to.
They're not going to surround themselves with people that they don't like being around.
Literally, if I check out tomorrow, this town will not miss a beat.
I say the same thing. If I took off, nobody would even know I was gone. Well, maybe Tom Luderin, but other than that, nobody.
He don't care anyway.
It would just roll. It would just roll.
Yeah.
Just roll. More songs, more artists.
Yeah.
It's a turnover thing. Like, and I think that's nice. That's a nice humbling thing to know is like ultimately nobody holds the key to this town.
No.
It's a million little keys that
the key to this town.
The key to this town is Luke Laird, baby.
It's getting a day with Luke Laird.
And baby, he's got the key.
He got 1 million number ones.
He's so rich it's ridiculous.
He only started his own publishing company.
He's going to Turkey for hair transplants.
That would be... That's where they do the hair. That's like the hair thing. We could talk about male pattern baldness.
I'm sorry, I'm ripping on that today.
No, I mean, I'll be honest. I do wish I still had hair, but not enough to fly to Turkey. And
hey, I'll say this: out of all the bald guys I know, you look the most natural. It looks the best on you.
Thank you.
Plus, it's just like,
I'm serious about that.
Plus, I think that's why Lana Del Rey got in touch with you. Honestly,
well, yeah, she saw that.
God, it looks good on you.
It's it is pretty low maintenance. I will say.
I don't understand why bald. I've done this before. People get mad at me for doing this. I think we did it with Luke, but like, I think it's more of a thing that you guys think, like nobody else thinks about it.
Yeah.
Like it's a self, and I think what's unfair about it is I think that the world, the media, people who want to make money off of it, make it like a thing.
Oh, for sure.
When in
absolutely.
reality, nobody really gets. Like, how many times have you thought about him being bald? Not once.
I get targeted as like attacking my confidence and stuff. I'm like, I'm totally fine with being bald. My dad was bald, and
it's not like you get to pick your parents either. It's not like
it's fine.
It's not a big deal. It's hair. Who cares?
Do people care? Girls, Jordan, do you care?
If you're 18, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Would you
18,
leave
that's a
me
great point.
if I went bald tomorrow?
You just gotta find a girl. You just gotta
leave me tomorrow.
If my hairline took a break. I don't know if
Disappeared.
my hairline started
What's
creeping
this?
back.
Ray, who's saying that?
Would you
No
leave me tomorrow?
It's not even the right words.
I'm sorry.
Jordan knows.
Who is it?
I don't know who's saying it.
Random guy. Who sang that?
What's your name?
New guy Ray. Who sang that?
Cole. Good to see you, Cole. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
He doesn't have the answer.
Gosh,
I know it from
that's where we're at, Luke. We're
Is that from
old.
Skinnerd?
Yeah, hell yeah, it's from Skinner. Yeah.
All of a sudden, I was second guessing.
That's Freebird, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, My bad.
Jeez, I'm just saying it's not you guys' fault that you guys are bald.
I know.
But I'm just saying, I wish the world would lay off bald guys, dude.
Yeah.
It really isn't a.
I wish bald guys wouldn't care.
I wish
think it
bald
starts
guys
with bald
could
guys.
live without the anxiety that they're. Bald.
I think it starts with bald guys. Bald guys have got to be okay
just
with being
gotta
bald.
own it.
Absolutely.
I think you should start a club, dude.
Dude, own that baldness.
Yeah, dude, own it.
Yeah,
no
man.
hair Laird, dude.
Are you still in seminary?
Man, I graduate next week.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
You be a preacher now?
No. Man, it's a wild thing, you know. People are like, "You're doing seminary?" I was not a great student in school, and if you would have told me 20 years ago, you know what, you're gonna have a job that's great, and you're gonna choose to go back to school and get a degree, I would have been like, "What?" And then especially a seminary degree, I'm like, "No way!" But man, it's wild how God works, because like 5 years ago, like kind of in my morning quiet time, I was just praying, like a short prayer is just like, "God, I want to know you." And I was always, not always, but over in adulthood, kind of interested in theology and always kind of been a deep thinker. And this is where it led me to. I was one of the guys at my kid's school. We'd have these kind of deep discussions, and he's like, "Man, have you ever considered seminary?" And I was like,
Wait, who's he? Who's he?
"Oh, his name's David Filson."
I mean, does he work at your school?
Yeah, he works
Or
at our
works at
kid's school. Yeah,
gotcha.
Brilliant guy. He's also a pastor. But he was like, I go, "Man, I do not feel any calling to be a pastor at a church." I was like, "I love my job." He's like, "No, like with this online degree, and the school is out of Philadelphia called Westminster Theological Seminary." He's like, "It's for people like yourself in all different occupations who just want to, go deeper." And and it's been amazing.
Wow.
The coolest thing about it is, not that I love writing papers, that part's been, but my time in my studies, it's like just constantly thinking about God and like sending you deeper into scripture. And just really, I guess one way to put it is like through this whole process, it's like made God just so much bigger.
Wow.
I mean, he's already bigger, but like my awareness of, and with what I do, there's a lot of faith that comes into play of just like us going into a room, creating something out of nothing. That takes a lot of faith, because just like, I mean, I pray all the time, just God, give me creativity.
Yeah.
Help me to represent you well.
Do you think that's different than God get me through this? Because I pray that a lot.
It's all, man, we all have need, whether we know it or not. So
Mine
it's
is
just,
God. It just ended all right now.
Yeah. Can you just put
Come on back, baby.
God, give me that single.
I pray that a lot.
It's
too.
wild. So yeah, I just finished. I'm not going to be walking at graduation because we're going on a family trip. But
Dang, I'd have came.
it's just, it's one of those people like, "What are you going to do with that?" I'm like, I don't have like this plan. Like, what am I doing? Hopefully it's got me closer to, grown me closer to God and my awareness of how small I am.
So that was the sole reason of doing it.
Yeah.
Man, it's really interesting to me too, because like childlike faith is easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's easy to just to the Sunday school stories and the coloring books, and as a child, that's all you think about. That's how you think of God, as in like animation almost.
Right.
But like it's just like with anything else. I think I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm trying to learn about the history of the world, literally, like wars and World War II and these things. And I'm finding myself as like my relationship with God matures, that I don't know enough about the Bible. And I don't know, just like I don't know enough about the history of our country or the world. And I find myself like, how do you do that? And that makes a lot of sense. Like in those terms, is like, you're just deepening the well of understanding the Bible and the gospel and the whole thing.
Yeah. It's every morning I have to, and I heard a preacher say this once, but it's like, you got to preach the gospel to yourself every morning, because if I start the day, diving into what do I got to do today, and thinking about work stuff or whatever, I have to start the day with what is true. I literally write it in my journal. What is true? Like at the deepest sense, man. Some days the answers are different, but it's always true. Like God is sovereign. He's in control of all of this. I'm flawed. I'm a sinner, and I need God. And when I start with that grounding, everything else kind of falls into place. You don't put the way I've said it before is my faith really helps me to not ride the highs too high and the lows too low. Mm-hmm. And so much like just in what we do, there's some real highs and there's lows. And
that's all it is, highs and lows.
Yeah. And so, knowing who I am and like this thing that we do, songwriter or whatever, like it's just what I do. It's not who I am.
Yep.
Like
yep.
in the big scheme, And so if I never get another cut tomorrow, it's not going to crush me. I mean, I don't want that to happen, but also if I have 10 awesome
Did you hear
things,
that, Nashville? Luke doesn't want any more cuts, so take all of our songs.
If I have 10 hits this next year, it's not going to we're like, man, I really think I'm the man, or that whole fear of what if it goes away?
Yeah.
Because I've done this long enough, and I'm so grateful. Back 10 plus, probably longer now, when I had probably my most hits at one time, it's at that time. And I remember another writer asked me, what are you going to do when it goes away? And I just remember in that moment, what's going away? I mean, we know Hall of Fame writers, nothing to do with their talent. It's just, it doesn't last forever. And so if, with my faith, it helps me really enjoy those moments, but also not get so wrapped up in it to where it becomes my identity, or I think, gosh, if it goes away, then what, how are people going to look at me? It's like, no, it's like, it's all a gift. Like the fact that I've said it before, without a creator, there's no creativity. I mean, the only reason we can put pen to paper and come up with these things is because we have a creator. It's not us doing it. So if I keep that in perspective, it takes the pressure off. It's not like, oh, I got to come up with it. It's like, well, some days it's going to flow, some days it's not, but it just helps you enjoy it more.
What a sword to have in the sheath in this music industry too, man.
Oh.
Because it can be the devil's playground, man.
For sure.
Especially with guys like us and other songwriters who are so mental in the first place, are so, we're already ADHD, most of us. We already deal with anxiety,
right.
and it's always not enough. It's always if I can have another one, and I hate feeling like that, and I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel like that sometimes. But to start your day and to start every day going, this is what I do. This is not who I am. None of this really matters. But
I actually have a question about that. So, I mean, I'm with you, and I know we're running over, but who cares? Right? Who cares? Y'all got stuff to do? Mm-hmm. Okay. How do you? I have a two-part question. One is, I hear people talk about that. I hear people talk about starting their day in the Word, or either starting their day in having some quiet time. I start my day usually by getting kicked in the nuts by my kids.
Yeah.
Literally. They're jumping on me.
Yeah.
So where, and I don't mean this to make this about myself, but how do you find the time to be, nothing in my life is consistent.
Right.
Other than the fact that I try to kiss my wife before I leave, and I write songs pretty much, and I try to eat a lot of protein and not sweets. Other than that,
important.
I don't brush my teeth as much. I might not take a shower that day. It could go either way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How do you find the time to be consistent? Not the consistent. If I had the time, I think I could do it. And I go to the gym.
You gotta make time.
Well,
there ain't no time to make sometimes.
I will say,
there is.
I will say,
If you're dedicated.
I'm fortunate because I am a morning person. So it's super easy for me to get up early. Now I will say my
What's
kids,
early?
5:30.
Okay, that's early.
I just wake up. I don't set an alarm or anything.
You're also going to bed at 6.
That's why I fall asleep when. And I am definitely a creature of habit. The more routine I can have, the better. And like you say, with our writing thing, that's just it's just not a 9 to 5 thing. You never know.
Right.
So when my kids were small, it was a lot harder. And there's days where you just wake up and you're just in the day, and it's,
that's it. That's what I feel like I'm at.
But I noticed throughout the day that anxiousness, it's like I haven't grounded myself in what's true. And so sometimes I'll literally just have to go in to the bathroom or somewhere and just shut the door and I just pray. And it doesn't have to be this long drawn out thing, but it's just, or in the car when it can be quiet and it's just like, God, I need you. I don't even know, sometimes have the words for what the prayer is. And by the way, when I say this, it's not like all of a sudden every time. And there's days, and look, I think like probably most people with what we do, going back to like song, like there's days where I'll be on social media and I'll see whatever, so-and-so got the single, and there's that little thing in there. It's like, not that I'm mad at that person. It's like, well, you start going down the dark path of like, I mean, that song.
I wrote songs.
That song we wrote. Yeah.
It was a hit.
mean, listen, I have all those thoughts, but it's not good to live in that cycle on a consistent basis.
Agreed.
And that's where the faith comes in, because it puts everything in perspective. That stuff is, it's such a small little thing compared to what I think a lot about, sitting on my porch one day when I'm 80, if I make it that long. And what am I going to be sitting there thinking about? Is it going to be, I didn't get the third single on whoever? It's like,
Gavin Adcock.
No, it's like, how are my kids seeing me do my job, handle success, handle failure? Am I loving my wife well? Do they think I put work before the, like, I'm grateful that, that I've taken time, that God's given me the time to really contemplate. And I think like, it almost feels like now even more than ever with the phones and everything, people just in our culture in general, don't ever even contemplate. Sit there and really think about the deep things in life, or where's this all headed? Again, my disposition is probably someone who's more prone to do that than some people, but I've seen just amazing benefits from it.
Okay. The other part of my question. How do you feel like, okay, so obviously within the last however many years you've been in this theology class or school trying to get getting your degree, do you feel, can you give me an example of, I guess that's kind of what I'm looking for, how you feel like your awareness has spread from what you knew to what you know now, as far as like actually putting that into action and feeling? Is that a clear question? Like,
I don't know. Is it?
What I'm saying is do you feel like you are recognizing things now, like opportunities given from God that you were missing before you knew all this that you know now?
Yeah, boy, it's hard.
Does more education equal more awareness?
Like being more in tune? Is that what you're saying?
More
with like
education,
God?
not necessarily. I mean, look, I think that especially in the Christian faith, you don't have to be a theologian. You don't, like you were talking about childlike faith. So sometimes having more knowledge and knowing all the right answers, there's a lot of really smart people and who actually have all the right answers but don't know God. Because the whole deal is recognizing our need. And a lot of times knowledge, they say like knowledge puffs up. And I've actually prayed for that going through this course, because I'm even leery to tell someone like I'm in seminary, because sometimes immediately people look at you like, wow, he really knows a lot. Like, smart. I don't. Like, the great thing about this, yes, probably in a lot of ways I know some things more, but it's really shown me how little I don't know. And like the mind of man is not the mind of God. So there's certain things, we want to, people that know the Bible inside and out, know Greek and Hebrew, you'll never discover the depths of what God thinks. But what is really clear is that we need him. And one of the hardest things for us, is to recognize our need. We want to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. And it's just the thing that these courses have done for me is just continually reminded me and this can sound bad, but like reminding me how bad I am, and what I mean in that sense of like what we would say is sinful, like whether it's someone out killing someone or just thoughts we have, you know, you think of different thoughts you have on a daily basis, or I may see someone and just have a thought that is not compatible with their flourishing, like, or just even making a snarky remark. I'm more aware of those things now and recognize, gosh dang, how much I do stuff like that, but it doesn't crush me because it just keeps pointing me back how much I need Jesus.
Wow, man.
And so it's a continual, it's been so freeing in the sense it's like, man, yeah, I'm a pretty messed up dude. But I also, when I tell people I have a seminary degree, I don't want them to think like, oh, he knows God better than I do or something. It's like, no, man, I need God. And we may have talked about it last time, but when I got sober, that was one of the first moments. It's like, holy crap, I've got serious need, and there's nothing I can do, no program or anything that's going to get me out of this. It's only by the grace of God. And so as I've grown, I do feel like I'm more in touch with that, but I'm also more in touch with, man, just how messed up I am.
It's awesome,
Good
man.
stuff, man.
Yeah, geez.
I needed that stuff.
Talk about that forever.
Preach, Luke Laird. Preach, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, man. I think that's a great segue into
What you mad at?
gravorite song, and I want to do it a little different today, man. That we had this same conversation kind of the first time we wrote, and ended up writing a song that kind of played into this, right? Like figuring out what
I have no idea. What did we write?
it ain't about.
Oh, yeah.
Can you play it? Can you play it?
Oh my gosh, dude!
I'll sing
Please
it.
don't ask me.
I'll sing
Give
it.
me a word tape.
Please, you guys do it. Oh yeah,
I mean, that's probably what
I'm gonna find it.
that
If I
sounds
played
great.
it. Yeah, if you can. Is that it?
I'm gonna just listen and enjoy.
Oh man, come on, tell me I got the lyrics.
I bet I do.
I need the lyrics. I think I could probably get through it.
What
but-
it ain't about?
Yeah, this is a song that me and Dan and Luke wrote, and it was the first time we'd written, and we went over to Luke's cabin, and I think this idea just kind of came out of conversation, and we started just talking about what life is about. Oh yeah, started out with
Yeah.
next grind.
Started out.
Name to me.
Just so you listeners know, I mean, you probably know this. These guys are two incredible songwriters. I love writing with people like this too, because you do. When we get in the room, we talk about real stuff, and I just love it, man. You guys are so good.
Well, these and this is the type of day that we talk about. That, like,
Thank you for saying that.
Yes, thank you. It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like those days you want to end. Like
we've had
y'all plenty of them, man. And it's part of the gig, right?
Yeah,
it's
it is.
part of what you're signing up for. And if you expect not to have them, then you're in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
But there are days that come along like this where it's just good to get in a room and just hash it out, man. Talk about life and talk about struggles and highs and lows and God and Jesus and the music industry, and maybe something like this comes out, and we noticed it, and thank God for giving us this tune.
Hey man, I don't
Hadn't been cut yet, but
I don't know
think
what
it will be.
happens here in the chorus. I have no idea.
Think it's the money. Same thing.
Yeah, just
Okay.
ride that thing out.
Did you hear that metal click? I got like my own snare with this.
Ready? Started out with an axe to grind, a name to make, a mountain to climb, a hill bent point to prove, burning it down in my cowboy boots. The nights were long and the drinks were cheap, and I was getting good at living for me. It turns out wild and free loses its shine when there's babies to feed. You think it's the money, you think it's the fame, you think it's the house on a hill that'll fill that empty space. Till one day you're smiling at the pictures on your fridge in the kitchen, telling God, I get it now. Yeah, the thing about life is you don't start living till you finally figure out what it ain't about. Let's go second verse, dude. Let's do it.
Okay.
Come on.
It's the tears in her eyes when you gave her that ring. It's grandpa talks on a front porch swing. It's a drive back home when it's been too long, catching up with a long lost friend. Yeah, hey buddy, how you been? Come on, you think it's the money, you think it's the fame, you think it's the house on a hill that'll fill that empty space, till one day you're smiling at the pictures on the fridge in the kitchen, telling God I get it now. Cause the thing about life is you don't start living till you finally figure out what it ain't about.
Good one, dude. Good one.
Man, that's a good one. And I just feel like that fits into that,
man.
that conversation.
What it ain't
bro.
about, dude.
Come on, why has no one cut that?
Probably because we messed the bridge up. Remember? We got to fix that.
We did?
Yeah, we got to fix that. Fix it tomorrow.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
Then we'll write another one.
Yeah.
Thanks for telling us that now.
Remember, you said that. You said it in the text. We were texting about the bridge, and you said, I feel like we've already said this.
Oh, yeah.
That's all right. We'll clean it
Oh,
up.
you guys didn't reply and it didn't get cut.
For sure.
Yeah.
It for sure wasn't the bridge. No one listens past the first chorus. So.
We may need to look
Sometimes
at that too.
I'll be writing and we'll get an awesome verse and chorus. I'm always like, does it even need a second verse?
Yeah, I think we're good. Hey man, we love you.
Man, love you guys.
Thanks for coming back.
Even
Thank you, guys.
if it was just for the
Two-time.
Tacovas, you know, like
Yeah, dude, I had no idea.
they're coming. I think. Yeah, they're coming.
Hey,
Okay.
what do you think about the new digs, man?
Yeah, you
Man,
like
this is, you guys, you must be making a lot of money.
it? Must be nice.
No, this is awesome, man.
You gonna come back for a third time?
Hey, I got to make something happen between
Yeah,
now
make
and
something
then.
happen.
Start turkey
then.
hunting.
Something to talk about. Oh,
Yeah, go turkey hunting for.
I start drinking again.
Yeah, that'll bring you
No.
back.
Boys, this is bad.
Drop out of seminar a week before you graduate,
Yeah, dude.
and then start drinking. Your little wife will love
gosh.
that.
No.
Luke Laird, everybody, check out
Pastor Luke Laird.
No,
That's what
no,
you
no,
said.
no.
You want to start going by
It's
that.
not.
Rev Luke
Oh
Laird.
my gosh.
When does the Lana record come out?
I have no idea. But
awesome.
first two songs are out.
Keep spinning the singles, baby.
That's right. Hey, we love you. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
you're
thank
the
you
best.
guys.
Thanks for sharing your heart, and
Yes, thank you.
I hope people listen to that real talk. Hey, we'll catch y'all next time.
And we'll see you tomorrow unless you cancel on us.
No, I got you.
That's right. Peace.